You can post a TikTok after.
We can post a little TikTok. See,
Are we live now?
yeah, we are. Yeah, we're live now. I
Didn't tell
messed
me.
up. I messed up the background.
I
I'm
look fine on my end. It's just my camera probably. Okay, everyone hold bear with me.
like
I'm
a
gonna scoot the
little
camera over.
side that I want to correct.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, how are
Bear with
you?
me. Did I make it worse?
Hi,
Why did my
Scarlett.
camera go dark?
Because you suck.
I
Let's
guess
lock this
so. We're
door.
obviously never gonna be. Oh, we're
Here's
obviously
the
never
thing.
gonna be some of those streamers who are like, "Hey guys, we're ready to go."
I mean, but the thing is, the best part I think for me is that like we do get on these streams like early, and then as the
Yeah,
stream starts, we're like, oh wait, it's not working. Like it was
yeah.
working, or I don't know. Like I've just been having a
It
lot of
was working
issues with
5 seconds ago.
yeah. I feel like when I set it up, I had no issues. Or I know because I did have issues when I set it out all the overlays, didn't I?
Yeah,
Because like look, even now I'm low key moving behind your screen. If you look behind
yeah.
me.
I can see that. Oh, I see that. That's
Hmm.
funny.
Is it? Or is it like the most
Yeah.
irritating thing that I've ever seen in my entire life? And
Well,
I'm
just
freaking
don't
out.
wave your arms around.
Oh, fine, I guess.
Anyway, hi Scarlet Vogue. Hi Steph.
Hi guys. I'm gonna move Riley. There we go. Yeah, I moved
Oh
you.
my goodness
Okay.
gracious.
Ugh, I'm sorry that like I feel like I look so tired, and I am very tired. And I may
You
be
look
like,
fine.
I may be super boring towards the end of this because when I tell you that I worked today, and I got my ass kicked for like 10 hours straight, and then they were like, "Can you work through dinner?" And I said, "Absolutely not. I'm leaving."
Absolutely not. This is what you get for taking another freaking restaurant
I
job. I
know
don't
I
know why you
didn't
keep doing
want
that to
to.
yourself.
I didn't want
You
to.
didn't have to.
I
You know what? Nobody made you do that.
I know, but I like money. So I'm literally working like 6 days a week right now. And it's just not sustainable. But
No, it's not. You should
yes,
quit that job and just do the other one.
I know the
Because
other
you have
girl,
two.
the literally the dinner time girl. So I was like by myself all morning. But that's what I'm saying. I need money for books and to fund my lifestyle. Um, no, so then the other girl didn't show up for dinner. And somehow I'm like the first one. Like Mel's like, oh, well, can you just work through dinner? And I was like, I've been here since 9 a.m. I absolutely cannot work through dinner. Like, are you out of your?
No,
I'm not gonna be here from 9 to midnight. You're out of your mind. Well, I
no.
told you, it's like I have a kid. Like I can't just do things like impromptu. Speaking of my child, she is here in the room with me, so you may hear her, see her here or there, but she's a pretty easy kid.
I thought you were
Kokomon,
just going to say she's pretty. It's fine to look at her.
she's pretty. No,
She's not ugly, so it's fine.
yeah, exactly. All right, I think it's just us. Is it just us two right now, or us four?
Us four, yeah. People trickle in and out.
I know. Okay. Do we have anything to catch up on?
The next book that we were going to be reading is Neon Gods. Everyone got what they wanted and voted
Mm-hmm.
for Neon Gods. So that will be in 2 weeks. And then the next fantasy book, and I'll reiterate this when we do the fantasy stream after this, is going to be like Once and Future Witches, I believe is what it's called.
I've never
And
heard of
yeah,
that.
it's not popular on Book Talk, but it is popular like on bestseller lists and stuff and on like on Goodreads. I think it alternates between like a past witch and like a future witch. I'm not sure. I haven't read it, obviously. But
Okay.
that's just what I know of it.
Well, so I did actually partially read and listen to the fantasy book for this month. So I think I'm gonna try to
Up
stick
on
with
the
it.
cob, it's Aubrey!
Aubrey, literally halfway through Love Neon Gods. I knew you would. See, I told you.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell us you were gonna be here? We would have
Aubrey.
just put you on the stream, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, you could have just come over here, even though you didn't read the book.
Yeah, what's wrong
It's
with you?
okay. Well, it's
Okay.
because she didn't. She was like, "Oh, can I do this? Because we're doing the stand-in."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care." She's like, "Oh, I didn't read it," but I'm like, "I don't care. It's fine."
She still could have come on, at least to say hi. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have any like new news. Okay, so we have done 2 streams in a row now, and after this
Yes.
one, after today, we're gonna go back to doing every other weekend because
Yes.
I mean I had to move it for the dental stuff. So now we're
Yeah, we
back
were
to
all
normal.
wonky because of your stupid tooth.
because my tooth has been giving me issues for literally 3 years now.
Yeah.
So
So, do you want to give us a summary of this book that I loved but also hated?
I honestly didn't read this in. That's okay. Yes,
That's
okay.
okay.
So
But we're going to tell you all about it.
to summarize, a woman looks like a celebrity, and that celebrity comes and basically pulls her into a van in the middle of the day and is like, "Hey, I need you to be me for a couple months."
Exactly.
And the main woman, what was her name? Gracie. Gracie. She just
Gracie.
gotten. I don't. I read a book, and then as soon as I'm done with the book, I just wipe it like all the names of everybody from my mind.
I
So,
understand.
so Gracie,
It's
she
Gracie and Way is the other girl, other
right.
woman.
So Gracie just got fired from her job because her boss is an asshole, and
Yeah.
she needs the money. And the in Way, the celebrity, looks just like her, and is basically like, "I need you to come take my place and come do all the PR for this movie that I'm, shooting right now, and I'll pay you like a life changing amount of money." And
Yeah. Like 100 grand or something, she said.
yeah, and Way's best friend is Sam, and Sam is the
Super
hottest
hot.
man in the world.
Yeah, they literally say that. He was
No,
dubbed
like
like
he,
sexiest man alive.
yeah, he literally won an award for just like being
Yes.
extremely hot. So
And he is Chinese. I believe they're all Chinese. Yeah, Chinese.
um
Rating on the back.
and so yeah, so he's kind of just like around because he's in the movie with Way, and so he's
Hmm.
helping
It's a play,
Gracie.
actually.
Oh, that's right. He's helping Gracie and Way kind of cover up that this is all
The
a plot.
the little Parent Trap situation that they're doing.
That's the first when I first read like the synopsis. When I first read the book, like I don't know, like 6 or 7 months ago, I was like, "This is the adult Parent Trap." It kind of is.
It kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. I really liked this book. Um, I really hated that they didn't have a sex scene in the book.
Oh, okay, okay. So we're starting off hot then.
We can start wherever you want. I'm just saying off the bat that made me irritated.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you that I loved this book, considering the fact that it's not spicy at all?
The thing is, it's written so well.
It
So
is
if you
kind.
didn't like this book, I would be concerned
I know.
because
I
it's
feel like
written so well. The characters are so like three-dimensional, like everything about it is good. There's a couple things that they do with Sam's character that I don't love,
yeah. I'm actually not the
but
biggest fan of Sam,
he
but
just seemed so hot. I just wanted to see how he was going to take her. And they didn't tell
wow.
me.
And then he never. And then he did take her, but he, it did
The
the faded
line
laugh.
was like, "I'm so glad I shaved above my knee." I'm like,
I know.
That's all you're going to give me?"
I know. That was so funny. Okay.
I was livid.
Okay.
I
So
texted
let's.
RJ and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Dude, she was texting me for like 2 days straight. Like, so where's the spice? Where? And I was like, it's
And
not
you just
here.
ignored me.
I
You
just
just kept
what was
going, "LOL."
what was I know LOL. Or and then I was like, what did
Yeah.
I say? I was like, I love you long time, unlike Sam.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the characters first. Let's talk about Gracie.
Okay.
And then I want to
Okay.
talk about Way. And then I want to talk about Sam. Because I think I actually have the most to say
We
about
also
Sam.
need to touch on Todd and
Ugh.
Gracie's mom as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk
So
about Gracie.
start wherever you'd like.
Let's talk about
Okay, so
Gracie.
Gracie is like a super, her whole thing throughout the whole book is she doesn't want to stand out because that's what her mom always told her. She's like, don't stand out, don't make a scene, like, don't let anybody see you, basically, like, just blend right in because she's half Chinese, half white. Her mom is Chinese, and they didn't, and her mom, like, moved to Canada. We find out more about that later, but, and she didn't want anybody to, she didn't want to, like, be loud, basically. She didn't want to take
Right.
up space, which is a thing that a lot of women in general have a trouble with. But
Well, and I
Gracie,
think that
like,
part of it is that she was like like an immigrant, right? Like she was coming
yeah,
in, she kind of fled her old life, and she was
yeah.
trying
And
to
we
probably
find
make
out
it.
at the very end what that is about.
Yeah,
It's kind of hinted at one point that, I think Wei says, "Oh, maybe your mom was running from something." And then later we find out like what was actually going on with that.
yeah. I think I don't know. I felt like for me that whole plot twist was kind of
Yeah. It was definitely kind of
weird.
crammed in there.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt. Like I didn't dislike it because it makes sense that like these two are related somehow, being that they look.
Do you want to just say what the plot twist is?
Yeah, so basically, so Gracie's mom is in like a nursing home, and she's slowly like
Hmm.
losing her mind. I think she's got dementia and Alzheimer's, and
Yeah.
we find out that Wei, the celebrity, is actually basically the long lost daughter.
This one.
Yes. So Gracie's mom was living in China during the era where they were only allowed to have one kid. And what was her husband abusive? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think he was abusive. I think he was just very cold and just
Right.
kind of like off, like standoffish, I think.
Right. So when she got pregnant with Gracie, she fled, leaving.
No, when she got pregnant with a different baby. Okay, so that was the thing that was confusing. So she
Oh,
got pregnant with that husband with a different baby and fled to Vancouver and then miscarried that
that's
baby.
right. That's right.
And then
Okay.
she just stayed in Vancouver, met Gracie's dad, and then had Gracie like
That's right.
3-ish years later. Because I think she's like supposed to be 27 and Way is 30, I believe.
Right. So she had abandoned Wei. She left.
Yes.
So Wei was stuck behind with her dad, who was very, to your point, very cold, unfeeling.
Yes.
And so that's the whole plot twist, is that Wei and Gracie are actually long lost
Half
sisters.
sisters. Yeah.
Um,
And that's why they look identical.
yeah, I guess.
Even though Gracie's half white. They're
Yeah,
identical.
yeah. So anyway,
I feel like RJ has some feelings about that,
I
but that's fine.
I don't know if I have any like super complex feelings. Like I think I've read so many books where the plot twist is just like, all right, you know what I mean? That I just was like, okay, fine. But I
Yeah.
definitely was. There was a point where I was like, but she has a totally different dad. Like there was a point where I was like, her dad is completely different. Like so that
Yeah.
just is what it is. Sorry, my daughters need something, but I think that
As we all know, genetics are weird. Like, you don't look like your dad, in my opinion. Um, my baby's starting more to look like me, but she shot right out looking just like Michael.
oh, this
Like,
child came out
genetics are
looking just like her
weird.
dad.
I know. That is why I have hope that my baby will look like me one day because Camila's starting to look more like you.
Look at her
But
now.
she's
But
like,
no,
I'm
so
mom's twin.
not quite. But no, so anyway,
Well,
so
more so.
that was the plot twist, and it was fine, right? Like it was like okay, they're sisters. Kind of saw that coming. Didn't see it coming that. I don't know if I saw them being sisters coming. No.
I thought that they would be like distant relatives or something.
Yeah, like
I
cousins or
or they would have the same dad, and like Gracie's dad wouldn't actually be your dad.
yeah,
That's what I thought was going to happen. But I think they couldn't do the author couldn't do that because her being biracial was so much a part of her journey, like
yeah.
to finding like acceptance or whatever. Obviously, I'm not biracial, but that's like what she was talking
What?
about is I can you tell that I'm
I
white?
don't think we can do this stream anymore. I need to find another.
What?
I need to find another milk chocolate girl to do the stream with.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. I thought you could tell by how pale I am. I literally glow in the camera.
Thank you. Normally she's not here. She's upstairs with her grandparents, but I worked all day and just was like kind of wanted her to be present. If she wilds out, I'll kick her out. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, so that was the plot twist. It was fine. I felt the most sympathy in the entire situation for Wei, actually, because
Yeah, yeah.
like to find her mom after all those years and to find her insane and like withering away, I was like, that's so unfortunate. Um,
Yeah.
but back to Gracie. I liked Gracie. I didn't dislike Gracie.
Yeah.
I thought that she had a bit of a backbone, which I appreciated. Like she didn't let Sam just like walk all over her.
Mhm.
Um, but she
She definitely
also
found her voice as she went, but our
absolutely
girl does jump to some conclusions a lot towards the end of the book.
like an Olympic gymnast, just be leap into conclusions. Like, and
Like
I guess my thing
seriously.
is that was the one thing because I felt like she had no issues confronting Sam 95% of the time. Like when
Yeah.
upon meeting him, she was like, "Hey, buddy, you're asking me for a fucking favor, so watch
Yeah,
your
because he was
tone."
being a little douchebag.
Yeah, well, because to
Yeah,
his point, the plan is asinine.
it's
Like,
crazy.
right. So he's like, I don't know. So he was kind of an ass for like 75% of the book, but she had no problem really standing up to him or just kind of being like, whatever, you can just be a dick. But then she overhears Wei and Sam having a conversation about, because it got leaked to the press that she was
Okay, so
imitating.
that's at the end. So I we should say like through the whole book, Gracie has this inferiority complex about Wei and Sam because she thinks that how did they not date? They're both so hot, but Wei and Sam are both like we're like brother and sister. Like no, that's never happened. Every time he has to kiss her on stage, he's like it's weird. It's like is he my sister? Like it's not how it is. And then him and Gracie finally like kiss because they're rehearsing for a scene that she has to do with him. And and she's like, "Oh, this isn't real. It's not real. It's not real." And then finally like they go to this like rooftop gala party and he like makes out with her like in the
Yeah,
corner. And and he's like, "This I can't believe I did that. Like we could have gotten in so much trouble because you're supposed to be Way and we're not supposed to be dating and all this stuff." He's like, "So can't you tell that I like you? Like I literally we could have ruined this whole thing
right.
because I'm making out with you in this corner."
I think for us, it was very clear that he liked her, but we also are going into
Yeah.
this like knowing that we're reading a romance, and like
Yeah.
knowing how this is gonna go, and we have kind of like an outside view looking in. But like
Oh,
as
believe
if I
me, if
were
I was her,
her,
I'd be yes.
I don't know if I would have known. Like
No.
he wasn't very like so he got friendlier right as time went on. Like he wasn't such an ass, but like at some point he just seemed friendly, right? Like
Hmm.
he did wasn't treating her very
Yeah.
romantically, and so it was just kind of like okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
Um.
he was like putting it down, and
Yeah. He, I wish. Jesus.
so
Tell you what, I
touchy
wish.
subject.
It's really like a trigger for me now because he didn't do it. I was so mad. Oh my god, I was so mad. Like we just got a couple making out scenes. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it
I'm
was
trying not to
brutal.
swear too much in front of your child, but I was
It's
like, oh
bad, but
my
I've
god.
already sworn so many times in front of I'm lucky that she doesn't like repeat everything that I say yet, because I
Not
know the
yet.
moment that she does, I'm going to get a call from the school, who's going to be like,
Oh,
"Oh my
for
goodness
sure.
gracious, she
For
did
sure.
this at me the other day, and she did this." I'm almost 99% sure she was trying to flip me off.
How much do you flip people off that she's picking up on that?
So Gracie was like
Uh,
constantly. Anyway, so I
oh
liked
my god.
Gracie. I don't think I loved Gracie. I did like that Gracie lived her own life and like she had something that she was trying to do, and I actually thought that what she was trying to do was really cool. With the
Oh
whole
right, the
to
planner thing.
do, yeah. But it was I don't know.
So the whole time, if you didn't read the book, they have it all in the back. But um, she's been trying to make a planner and like be like a planner influencer basically. And so they have these cute little
Planner
like
influence.
doodles in the back and on like every chapter of all the different like planner layouts that she does for Epi.
Yeah.
And I guess the author included all these in case we want to rip them off, which I guess is nice. But in case we want to use them. But at the end of the book, she like is super successful because Sam. And this is when they're not talking, and because Sam is like tweeting, and he's like, "You have to try this. This I swear by this method of scheduling my life." And then she gets super popular,
Yeah.
and
Because
that's when they're not talking. So
at the end, we find out that Way's assistant, who has been her assistant for years and years and years, who we find out that she's in love with Sam. Now I knew from the
I
get go
thought,
that she was in love with Sam because she
okay,
was
I
a
didn't.
bitch to Gracie. She
She
was
was a bitch. I
horrible
just
to
thought
her.
that was her personality.
No, no, I knew that she had a thing for Sam,
The
and that
problem that I have with that is like, there's really no other reason why she doesn't like Gracie.
Yeah.
Like it has to be because of a guy. Like
Yeah.
really? You couldn't think of anything, any other reason. Maybe because she's jeopardizing your client and you love your client like your family.
Because she did
Like
love
maybe
Wei. I mean, clearly not
yeah.
enough, but it was like she loved Wei, and Wei was heartbroken.
Yeah, so she leaked it to ZZTV and um just like a tabloid. Um and they offered Gracie a whole bunch of money if she would like come out with the story, but she was like, I'm not doing that. No.
Right.
But the reason they have the third act breakup, which I knew had to be coming eventually because they always have to do a freaking third act breakup,
I know you know if there's like
was
if there is like this much left in the book and they're happy,
dude,
it's a
it
wrap.
wasn't even, it was like this much.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
less than 100 pages, all that was crammed into. And that was why I gave it 4 instead of 5 stars because, like, that's, you're going to cram it all into there? Really?
Yeah. The end did
But
did happen rapidly. But so they find out that they Gracie overhears Sam and Wei talking about the assistant having leaked the information to the tabloids.
yeah.
However,
But they're also speaking in Mandarin and she can't speak Mandarin.
right, so she's been slowly learning a little bit here and there as she's been kind of, playing Wei, but Gracie assumes that they are talking about her. And instead
Yeah.
of, walking into the room and asking a question, and here's where the miscommunication trope comes in that we all know that I hate so much. Instead of walking into
It's
the
so
room
stupid.
and being like, get my name out of your mouth, I would never do that. She packs up all of her stuff, leaves. Doesn't she like try to send back the rest of the money, or doesn't accept the rest of the money, or something crazy with the rest of the money?
She she doesn't send it back, but I think she doesn't accept it. And then
Right.
she like sends like an email to Wei. And Wei's like heartbroken because we forgot to say this whole time Wei is battling depression. Like
Absolutely.
fucking fist pump it, like beating the shit out of depression right now
Yeah.
because that's why she needed Gracie to begin with, is because she says multiple times in her country and where she grew up, it's not acceptable to talk about mental health. So she's like not capable of asking for help until Gracie gets there. And there's a scene where Gracie like makes it a point to take one of her antidepressants in front of Wei. And then Wei starts sort of like opening up about it and saying, oh, yeah, I could never take medication. But then eventually she gets a therapist and gets on medication towards the end. And
Yeah.
she tells Grace, she's like, I never would have done that before.
Right.
But Gracie
Because
just
well, they
freaking
became very
leaves her.
close. They became very close
Yeah.
during that time, and because Wei was able to talk to her in a way that she wasn't able to talk to anybody else, and then
Yes.
Gracie just leaves because she thinks that they're talking about her, and they think that she leaked everything, and so she just vanishes, and she doesn't answer any of their calls. She just is like, peace out. Which
She blocks their numbers.
I thought that was kind of like an extreme reaction. I guess I don't know. Like
Yes.
to me, it was one of those
To
things that like
block their freaking numbers, you could at least keep their numbers so you can apologize if they think that that's what's happening, or at least to clear your name.
right,
Like, I am so much of a uh not antagonist, I guess, maybe. You and I are both the same. Like, if somebody's talking about us, there's no way in hell we're just gonna sit
absolutely
quietly outside the door.
no.
Like,
I'm busting
you guys
in.
don't know RJ that well, like I do, but I've seen this woman freaking pull a car over and get out of the car and start yelling at someone for jaywalking in front of our car
But those
because
guys were
she's
being dicks because
crazy.
they were doing it on purpose. Anyway,
I
no.
agree with you.
And it's like I would have busted the door down. But that's one of those things where like she like vanishes and she just like blocks them and everything. That's one of those things that just is made to perpetuate the miscommunication trope, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand, like not everybody is like gonna bust, yeah, busting or
Yes,
whatever.
Aubrey knows.
Not everybody is gonna bust down the door, but and some people may not say anything right then and there, but like the silence is it just helped with the miscommunication trope, right?
Can you hold your mic maybe like 1 inch back?
Right here.
Thank you. It might just be my earphones. Yeah.
But no, so I don't know. I think for me that the like I know,
She has
right?
a lot of thoughts about this book.
Yeah, I thought that for me, like the book was written so beautifully to have a miscommunication trope. I was like, really, like, come on.
Yeah. And I would read anything else that this author writes. I don't know what other books that she's has or if she has any, but because I know this book's relatively new. But like I mean, the miscommunication trope is just so present in like any rom-com book,
I
and I
know.
hate it. And just like the third act breakup, I can't stand that. Like, why do you have to? You
Yeah.
can't think of any other conflict,
I'm
or
not
like,
I'm
give me a second act. Look at her putting your glasses on upside down.
I know.
She's so cute.
I'm not opposed to like a third act breakup. Like it's definitely one of those like necessary evils, I guess, cuz like otherwise the book just ends
Yeah,
earlier. But I also
or they could just go together to whatever the actual problem is.
yeah. I think for me
That'd
it's
be
just
great.
it's when it's so easy, right? Like I want someone to have made an actual mistake or for some like life circumstance to actually have broken them up rather than it just be like I overheard this
Yeah,
thing and I assumed that he was talking about me. And then, even
the
though I know
leaps
I
that
didn't
she
do
made.
that, I mean, like literally.
Yeah.
Give me
So
this
let's
person's
talk
glasses.
about Todd. So Todd was Gracie's extremely inappropriate boss at the job. And at the job she worked at before she was fired. And the reason she was fired is because at the very beginning of the book, a paparazzi sees her and like takes a bunch of pictures of her when she's in a coffee shop. And she's like, what the hell? Like, I'm not famous. Why are you taking pictures of me? But the reason she gets fired for that is because she called out sick that day because she just didn't want to deal with Todd because he doesn't touch her, but he like insinuates that he wants to have sex with her. And
Yeah,
he
he's
says it lots
inappropriate
of
for
times.
sure.
Yeah. And he definitely crosses a ton of boundaries. Um and like the whole thing is like she thinks Todd's the one who leaked it because she has this altercation with Todd at that balcony party, the gallery party. Um she has an altercation with Todd because he walks up to her even though she's dressed fully as Way, right? He comes up to her and he's like, I don't care who you're pretending that you are, Gracie. Like, I know it's you. He's like, I can have my way with you, like all this disgusting stuff. And she just basically shuts him down. She's like, get away from me. And she doesn't acknowledge that she knows him. She's like, get away from me now. And then Sam comes and security guard kicks him out. So that's like the end of that storyline. That happens maybe like halfway, a little more than halfway through the book.
Yeah.
But but like I think that whole storyline was sort of to show Gracie growing more into herself, you know, like even if she was dressed as Way at the time, she's definitely becoming like developing more of a not a thick skin, but like a ability to defend herself, I guess. I can't really talk.
Yeah, no, but you're not wrong because the whole point of it was that excuse me, ma'am. The whole point of
What
it
was
was
that?
that the mouse. I just turned it off. No, the whole point was because back before when she worked for him, she kind of let him I don't want to say let, but she like allowed him to do these things that made her uncomfortable and she never really confronted him because she didn't know what to do. And then
She didn't want to lose her job, all that
right.
stuff.
But then afterwards, when she's Way and all the power that she's found being Way or being around Sam or being around Sam and Way, she now had the ability to be like, "Hey, fuck off. Like it doesn't matter
Hmm.
who you think I am, you're not going to like treat me like this."
Yeah, he like straight up like came at her on the balcony.
He
I think
absolutely
I
did.
marked it. I'm not sure where I marked it. I marked. Okay, so I have 3 orange flags. So I'll show you my tabs. I have many quotes that I liked. There's a couple of cute romance scenes. Like there's a couple like cute scenes that I marked, but obviously there's no freaking red flags because there's no spicy scenes.
Oh gosh, you're so mad.
RJ.
Listen, I didn't even
But
vote for
is
this
this not
book.
called the Good Girls Book
I
Club?
literally didn't even vote for this book.
Uh
We let
huh.
the girls vote and they get to decide what they want to read. I had no say
Sure.
in this.
Sure. Of
Yes,
course
I
you
brought it
didn't.
up
You're
once.
always so innocent.
I am. Yes, I am. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Wow.
But one of the one of the orange flags I have in here, which is the flag color of stuff I hate, was when she wrote the this is back to what we were just talking about, when she wrote the email to Way. I was like, are you shitting me with this? It's literally I'll read it to you. It's 2 sentences, okay, that she writes to Way saying that she's leaving. You probably know that ZZTV called me to get my side of the story. I hung up on them. I know I signed the NDA, but even if I hadn't, I never would have told them. I overheard you and Sam, but I swear it wasn't me. I wish I could spend more time with you. I'll miss you. Thank you for everything.
Would you have sent that and then immediately blocked somebody, or would you have sent that, given it a couple days, let them
No.
respond to you, and then if they hadn't or the response had been poor, then you would have blocked them?
RJ, I would not have sent that because I would have kicked the door in
Yeah.
the second I heard them
I would
talking.
I'd have been
But
like, talk a shit. Yeah.
yeah, literally. But let's say I didn't do that, I wouldn't have blocked. I have a hard time blocking people because I like to have the last word and I like to hear what they're going to say. So if they respond to me, I need to be able to like fire right back and be even like I try to be way smarter and way sassier than they were, you know.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
it's a
low key like
problem.
rolled my eyes, but also like me.
Act like you're not like that. Please.
I'll
We have
block
the same
someone.
temperament.
I'll block someone and then unblock them just to say something and then block them again.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
That's because I'm a problem. Okay. Anyway,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
we're
I think
already
we're both a problem.
right. So we're already 40 minutes in. I think that we both can say
We're
we
30
liked.
minutes in.
Yeah, we're through. Yes, we're
Can you
30 minutes
read?
in. No, apparently not. So I
Can
think we
you
both
tell
can say
time?
we liked Gracie. I liked Way. I found Way to be pretty sympathetic.
Yeah.
And easy to understand. But I don't think she was like, I don't know. She was a big part of the book, but she wasn't big enough for me to have like
Yeah, there
loved
wasn't a ton
her.
of scenes with her. Yeah.
No.
We more kind of talk about her than her like sort of talking with us,
Yeah.
I think. And I read in the back there's like an interview with the author, and she said if she ever were to write a spinoff, she would write it about Way. So I would definitely read that if she
I
ever
would
does
read
that.
that for sure. Oh, I'd be all
Because
about
Way
that.
is a super like complex character, and I would like to read about that.
I
As-
think for me, I would be the most interested to hear about her relationship with her mom and how it evolves
Mhm. Yeah.
with her mom being, slowly fading, basically.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I was unclear at the end if they ended up getting her into the more expensive nursing home or
I
not.
think they did.
Like,
I
I'm
think
sure they
Way did.
did, but I don't think it was specified, was it? It might have been, and I just missed it.
Yeah, because
But
that was
I
another
can't
big.
imagine they wouldn't.
I think they did. Because that was another big financial stressor for Gracie, is that she was paying for her mom's nursing, for her care all by herself, and she wanted to get her into a better facility, but
Yeah.
the cost was too much for her, and then she got fired,
Yeah.
and then she couldn't afford
So
anything.
that's the main reason why she did the whole
Yeah, she was
switch
against it at first.
situation. You know
Which
who
I
this
mean,
also reminded me of? Is the Princess Switch. Did you see that on
no, I
Netflix?
didn't. No,
Aubrey and I watched that actually, if Aubrey's still listening. But like this haircut that she has is identical to the one that Vanessa Hudgens had in that movie. And then the long hair of the princess, just exactly the same. And I'm like, it's a little similar, but I don't really know what came first.
now
But
I'm gonna
they're like
watch it.
very similar.
I'm a
It's
sucker for
not good.
cheesy ass, but I'm a sucker for it. That's what I was
Okay,
thinking of.
Steph, yes, thank you. That's what I was thinking about because she has the exact same freaking haircut as Vanessa Hudgens. Yes, Aubrey knows Princess Switch. You wouldn't like it. It's very
I
cheesy.
have to, no, but now I have to watch it because you know
Okay,
what?
we'll
I've
watch it
become
and
a
let me know.
fan of Vanessa Hudgens lately. Weirdly
Oh
enough,
God,
I
Little Miss.
know.
I mean, people are gonna die, which is sad, but like inevitable, I guess. That was spot on. You're telling me
What are
that
you
wasn't
talking
spot on?
about?
Are
What
you
was
kidding
that?
me?
What was that?
It was Vanessa Hudgens. Oh my God. You don't know that? You don't know that tea? Freaking right when COVID started, Vanessa Hudgens gets on like an Instagram live and she goes, yeah, like COVID is sad and but I respect the virus, but like yeah, people are going to die, which is sad but like inevitable, and that's exactly how she said that. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, I just freaking nailed that. So maybe rethink your love for Vanessa
Why
Hudgens.
can't I have anything? I can't like anyone. Like even like my like for Vanessa Hudgens was so like dim. Like it was not anything special. And now here I'm like, fuck. I guess I just won't like anyone.
I understand.
I won't like. I'll
I
just
felt
be
that
alone.
we should save like 10 minutes for me to talk about pop culture drama at the end of this
Oh,
because
I'm
there's
down.
been so much that's been happening. Okay. The
Okay,
only other
so
thing I actually did want to touch about is Sam.
mhm.
Because we didn't really talk about Sam. There was one line he said. And I think you know exactly what it is if you remember that I did not like,
Okay, let's hear it.
like Sam said. If you weren't only half, I think you were a real Chinese.
Ah, yes. Was that
And
that
that
was
just
that
made
pretty
me
early
really,
on?
yeah. But still,
Well, I think
like that's a gross thing to say.
for me, it it was upsetting for me that it came from Sam. But as
Yeah,
a biracial person, that is not an inaccurate thing that you hear often. Like,
yeah.
and she struggled, and I do remember like really enjoying that part of the book of like her struggling with being biracial and loving being biracial, but also
Mm-hmm.
feeling like she didn't quite belong in like most spaces because it's something that I relate to very heavily. But that is not like an abnormal thing to
I'm
hear.
sure it's not. It's just shitty.
It I
Like
just
that's
was like
just
when he
like
said
that
it, I
really
do
turned me
remember being
off
like,
from
"Huh?"
Sam.
But
Like that seemed like a such of an out of character thing. Like maybe if May had said it because she already hated her, like the assistant, maybe if she
yeah.
had said it, I would have that would have made more sense, but it just didn't make any sense that Sam was the one saying that. Because yeah, it was still when he didn't like her at the beginning, but like later on, he like talks about it more and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that at all. Like I didn't mean it as an insult at all." And she's like, "Well, you still said it though."
I
Like
think
it really soured him for
there was
me.
a conversation that they had where he was like later on where he basically was like, "I wasn't being mean." And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, you were though."
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, "No, I
He's
actually
literally
like really
like, "It's
liked
not
you."
my fault." He's like, "It's not my fault that my words hurt you. You were hurt by my words. My words didn't hurt you."
Right.
Like,
Like he was
it's
like, "No, I
not
was like making conversation. Like I wasn't being mean. Like that's how I talk to everybody." And
no.
Gracie was like, "Yes, it is. That's a problem."
Yeah. It's a problem.
I don't know. So let's talk about Sam because as far as book boyfriends
Okay.
go, he underwhelmed me. Um,
I thought he was so hot. Oh
he
my
sounded
god.
hot.
Just he sounded so hot.
So there's a guy on TikTok that does like these little transitions to this song where he's like pretending like smacking ass, and every time he does it, he like his outfit changes, and he's like
I've never
so
seen him.
fine. And I
Oh my
kind of
god.
like it like put Sam and them together. And so like I just imagine Sam being like super duper hot, but I also just didn't like Sam.
Interesting.
I didn't like him as a person. I feel like I
Yeah.
when I read books now, I just see TikTok thirst trap guys as the people, which is a problem.
And that's fair. Honestly, I this is probably problematic. I don't know very many Asian actors.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I pictured him as the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, that hot guy. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
That's who I pictured him
That's what
as.
I'm watching tonight. You
He's
just said,
hot. He's hot.
okay.
I don't even remember his name, but he's hot, and that's what I was picturing Sam as, and that's what I was like, get it, take it off, but he
Oh
didn't.
God, yes, I know.
That's literally how I pictured Sam. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, please,
It's
just
just like a
please,
sound clip of up to the last 10 seconds, just like oh yeah, emotion.
literally, please, just take it off, please.
But no, so I thought that Sam was really hot. However, to me, Sam was like the most boring character until we started
That's
to
fair.
learn more about him, which it took us. I felt
Oh
like it
yeah,
took us a long time to actually learn anything about Sam.
like how his
Um,
mom's super controlling,
yeah,
um,
and it
and
makes
that he
more
likes to
sense.
make dad jokes. That
Yeah,
was kind
but
of cute though.
he was kind of boring. And maybe I read books that are like insane half the time. Um,
Yeah,
I've been taking a
you
dark
do.
romance break. It's a little bit heavy on my heart. I had to stop for a moment. I was like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. But and so maybe I just was like, he is just eh. But to your point,
Yeah,
I did think that he was this like really rude to her from the beginning for no reason.
literally no reason. He said later. Sorry, he said later. He's like, it's because I'm so protective away, and I don't want anything to happen to her. Which
Yeah,
I
but Wei
get, but
came
like
to
that's
me,
not
ho.
Gracie's fault.
Wei
Like that's
came
not
to me,
Gracie's. She
bitch.
didn't do it. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
Wei's grown.
She's fully grown.
And you know what? But you know
Yeah.
how I feel about like, and whenever I read a book where like a man is trying to make a decision for a woman, I'm like, no, fuck you. She's grown
Yeah.
because Wei was grown and she made that decision. And if Sam didn't want to go along with it, then he didn't have to go along with it.
No, he didn't have to. He literally didn't have to. He just accompanied Gracie pretty much everywhere. Even though they weren't even there wasn't even like a story that him and Way were dating. They just kind of went with it, you know?
Right. And it made sense to have him there as like a buffer to help out, but also like if you're going to be an asshole to me, I would rather you not be present.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, Sam. I would not put him on like my list of like book boyfriends. I just
The only
really
reason
don't.
I would is because I just pictured him as that guy, and that guy is so hot.
Mhm.
He's just so hot.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's all I could think of the whole
Mm.
time.
Mm.
He's no kidding.
You know, I just thought of. I thought of like Dora the Explorer, like delicioso.
Oh my god. Does your daughter watch a lot of Dora the Explorer?
God
Or do you just
no.
remember that from your own
I
childhood?
remember that from my own childhood.
Oh, okay. I was like, I feel like Bluey's the show now, not Dora.
Dude, I could watch Bluey all day. There are moments where I find myself
Bluey's
watching Bluey.
fantastic.
Yeah, and Camilo is like gone. I'm like, oh shit, I'm just over here watching Bluey by myself. It's funny as fuck. Anyway,
It's fantastic.
so let's give the rating. So you want us in the last 10 minutes? I want to
Okay.
catch up with some of the girls. I feel like last time
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
talk to them at all. But so how did you like the? Well, let's do the spice rating first because we know what that's gonna be.
It's gonna be a 0 for me. Yeah.
It's gonna be a
It's a
hard
0.
0. Yeah. Writing
Big
style.
fat 0. Oh, like a 4.5.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't give it a 5 is because of that nonsense at the end. But 4.5 for sure.
It just feels to me like a miscommunication trip just feels lazy sometimes. Like I'm like, wow, we
Yeah.
really couldn't have had something happen. Anything
Especially this
happen?
one. It can be done well, but like this one was not for me.
Yeah. Absolutely, because I think there are times where like if there's a miscommunication trope involving a third person who's purposely causing a miscommunication, that I don't mind. But like when it's just
Yeah.
like I overheard you and I thought that you were talking about me and I just didn't say anything and then and then I blocked you and just never spoke to you again. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Um,
Bye.
yeah, peace. Okay, so what did you give it overall?
I did 4. I did 4 out of 5. I just, like I said already, the ending was the only reason that I wouldn't have given it a 5. It just felt rushed. It felt kind of crammed in there. And, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, authors don't have a maximum number of pages. Like, you can
Right.
keep going. It's not like a movie, where you only get this certain amount of time. Like, you can keep going. You
Hmm.
can keep, give me
Or
a
you could
little
have
bit
called it
more.
quits earlier. It's up to you.
Yeah. And we all would have been happy.
This is your game and we're all
Yeah.
just living in it. Just come on, just make a decision. But
I also would have appreciated like a little like 1 year later, just so we could kind of see where everybody was.
yeah. I you know what? I guess I'm not a big fan of like epilogues. I
Oh,
love them
really?
and I
Yeah, I
hate
just
them.
I just like to know that everyone's good. I guess because I'm
Everyone's
like if the
alive.
author's not gonna
Everyone's thriving.
like if the author's not gonna do these characters again, I would just like a quick little checkup so I know everyone's all good.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of total?
I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah,
Solely because of the miscommunication trope because it's my least
yeah.
favorite trope. I mean, I can deal with a lot,
But
but
this book is really good though.
it's so good that the
Yeah,
miscommunication trope was actually more upsetting to me because it's so good because it's like, girl, you know how to
yeah.
write. Why is this what you did?
It's definitely my favorite one we've read so far
Really?
for the book club. Yeah.
Oh, what is my favorite one so far? I want to know what everybody. You know what? That's a good question. I want to know what everybody's favorite book is that we
Yeah.
read so far.
Please write in a little chat and tell us.
I'm trying to think.
I think for sure this one's been my favorite. And don't even get me freaking started on the fucking fantasy book that we're doing after this. Which you will be getting me started because I'm going to be talking about it for an hour at you.
Oh God.
So make sure everybody stays for that, please. Because that's going to be fun. It's just going to be an hour of me losing my mind.
Yeah, and me just being like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think Things We Never Got Over was my favorite one. Yep.
Gag me.
But I think that
God,
this
I
one is like
hate that book.
right up there with it. You really do hate that book.
Mhm. I hate it so much. I hate it.
I don't know why. I do know why
I
because
don't
of
know.
Knox. Because Knox was an ass. I get it. He
He's the
sucked.
worst.
He's the literal
Yeah.
worst. I like Sam more
There's
than I
just
like
something
Knox.
about a 40-year-old blonde man fighting his brother in the street that I'm just not for. I'm just not about,
I, and
you
and
know?
the way that he did it, things are not good. Ice Planet Barbarian.
Said Ice Planet. That's the only one she's read so far. But honestly, Aubrey, that was a good one.
What book are you
You
on,
started at a
Aubrey?
good
Now,
one.
I'm very curious to know what book she's on now. If she's finished the second one already.
She was telling me yesterday. I think she's halfway through the second one.
Okay.
Neon Gods will top it. I'm
Neon
excited to
Gods.
read Neon Gods. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while.
Uh, okay. How about just no blonde
No
men?
blonde men.
I agree.
Thank you.
Somebody in the book
Agreed.
club said one time, like, anytime you read about a blonde man, imagine them as Jax from Sons of Anarchy, and I've started to do that, and it's worked out really well for me because I love myself some Jax. Neon Gods
Oh yeah,
is
Aubrey's still reading the second one.
yeah. Okay, so if you read Neon Gods, I need everyone to tell me that they are going to read Electric Idol because Neon Gods is good, but Electric Idol is better. And
I've
I
heard
can't.
tell of Electric Idol.
Oh, I think it's one of my favorites that I've read so far this year. Electric Idol is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
be
he's
excited to read
blonde.
that one too.
He's blonde.
Ugh.
I don't think I read him as blonde though. Like, 'cause I remember at
I'll
one
just
point.
picture Chris Hemsworth with short hair.
Mm,
Not with long hair. With short
mhm.
hair.
Yeah,
Because that Thor wig they got on him is messed up.
it is kind of brutal.
Anyway,
Oh
this is
God.
gross. Okay, I wanted to talk briefly. There wasn't a ton of book talk drama that I saw this week because I know everyone was wanting me to fill them in on book talk drama. There was TikTok drama with the pink sauce situation. Have you seen that?
No. God no.
I'm going to briefly summarize it for you. This woman made a sauce. It's called the pink sauce. Okay. There's videos of her dripping it on all of her stuff. It looks super runny, but it's like bubble gum, like Pepto Bismol pink color, right? In the videos she's making. And so she's selling this stuff. Everybody's buying it. It's $20 a bottle for like a Heinz ketchup size bottle. Everyone's buying it. And then all of a sudden, people start getting really sick. People start getting all these bad reviews. Some people are opening the bottles on camera and they're covered with mold, like
Oh.
inside. They
Ugh.
look at the they look at the packaging on the back and it says there's 444 servings in the bottle, which is impossible mathematically. And then it says that
Unless a drop
um
is a serving, in which case.
exactly. And then it says that it doesn't say you need to be refrigerated, but it says one of the ingredients is milk.
So once
And
you open it, you need to
there's
refrigerate it because it's milk.
exactly. And it doesn't say that on the bottle. She recently fixed the label, but none of the other problems have been addressed. So it's super sketchy. You'll as soon as you guys get on TikTok later, I know you'll go there after the second stream today. Just look right up pink sauce. You'll be informed by people who know more about it than me, but it's so sketchy. It's weird.
I feel
And
like
everyone and she wouldn't say what it tasted like at all in any video. She goes, it has its own flavor. And then people taste and they're like, it tastes like ranch. Like it tastes like she put red dye in ranch.
I'm
It
dead.
tastes like
That would be
ranch.
so funny if she went to the store and bought a fuck ton of ranch and then just drop a red dye and then sold it back for $20. That would be
Yeah.
hilarious. She would have
She
conned
made a
everybody.
video of her making it, and what's in it's like dragon fruit, honey, spices, like
How
chili
does it taste
pepper,
like
chili
ranch?
flakes. I don't
She's
know because clearly
lying.
she doesn't put those things in there.
She's
It's
lying.
clearly ranch. Everyone's saying it's like watered down ranch. So, because it's so runny. Like in the videos, you can see her pouring. It's like water consistency.
Sounds awful.
It's disgusting. Anyway,
Okay.
so that was that
Why do
drama.
people why why would you buy that? Like
I don't know.
why would you go to this woman's page? I understand like seeing the sauce being like that's interesting. Let's go to her page and see if I can find something about it.
Yeah.
But once she like doesn't say anything about it, why would I buy
Yeah.
it for $20?
There's also there's so many videos of her pouring it on the stuff and then going to take a bite and then cutting right before she
Oh yeah.
actually bites and tastes it. And I'm like,
Of
you
course there
guys,
is.
like I'm all for women entrepreneurs. I have my own small shop. I love that for people. But like don't buy food from TikTok.
No.
Please.
No.
It's one thing if it's like earrings, but why are you
Yeah.
buying food?
I don't know cuz
Like
food is like
uh,
it has to go through so many different checks and balances and
yeah.
like in order to be widely
She's making
distributed like
it in her house, Raj. She's making it in her house.
No, that's disgusting.
It's disgusting. And then the only other drama, excuse me, that I saw was the Noah Schnapp and Doja Cat drama. Did you see this?
No, no, but I want you to tell me about it because I
Okay.
knew that you were gonna know, and I meant to ask because all I heard was that he
Okay.
had said something that Doja Cat was like, "You're a fucking asshole" or something, like she flipped out.
So Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things is 17.
Who? Okay, which one is it?
And Doja, he's Will, bowl cut.
Well, Will, the one from season 1 that got okay, got it.
Yes, yes. Um, and if you haven't watched the most recent season, like obviously he's 17 now, but he's not an adult. He's still a kid. He's 17. And Doja Cat is like late 20s. Okay.
An adult.
I'm trying to break this down. An adult. Doja Cat messages Noah Schnapp on Instagram and asks about one of the new characters who's Eddie, who's hot, who's Eddie. And she was like, hey, I'm trying to slide into this man's DMs, but I can't find him. Can you give me his number? And Noah's like, bitch, what? And she's like, I can't find him. Can you help me out? He literally just sends her his Instagram profile. I'm like, Doja, you really couldn't have just, don't you have people for this? Anyway, so he screenshots this conversation and posts it because he thinks it's funny.
Oh, why'd he do that?
And well, the thing is, she had already tweeted about how she's so thirsty for this man.
Oh, okay.
So he probably just thought it's no big
It's
deal.
a part of
Like,
the yeah,
it's her thing. Like, it's
part of
her
the
thing
joke.
right now. Like, it's her thing lusting after he plays Eddie. Like, lusting after Eddie
I need to
in the
look up
show.
Eddie.
And he's hot, but he's hot in a way that's like, you have to watch his character acting because he's hot.
So he's not hot.
I think he's hot, but you're not going to think he's hot.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, he looks better in
Bless
person.
you.
Okay. Anyway, Eddie
It's
from
like you like him in the show.
Any Stranger Thing.
I personally think he's hot. But anyway, then Doja Cat goes on Instagram Live and is livid at Noah Schnapp. She goes, this man's a snake. He's a freaking liar. I can't believe he did this. She goes, he's like 19 or whatever. And I know he doesn't know, but like, this is a mess.
Doja Cat, arguably one of the most attractive women in pop right now, is going
Yeah.
after this man.
I agree with you. I think he's hot, but I don't think he's Doja Cat hot.
This man.
Thank you. Yes, Aubrey said his character makes him hot.
That
Yes.
character?
Yes. Yes.
Guess you had to be there, huh? Carry on.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You kind of had to be there.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
Doja Cat goes on her Instagram Live and calls Noah a snake and calls him a liar and says, she's like, I know he's 19 or whatever, but I don't care. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. She's like, this is snake behavior, all this stuff. And then she loses 200,000 followers.
Oh.
Not like 20,
in the corner,
200,000.
in the corner, crying, throwing up.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. First of all, you message a 17-year-old.
No, millions. Yeah.
No, not even that. But like her being upset with Noah is just not that big of a deal. Like first of all, you message a 17-year-old. I don't know what you thought a 17-year-old was gonna do when Doja Cat messaged them, but they were gonna make that shit public.
Obviously.
And so, but it's also just not a big deal, especially if you've
Oh,
already
and
talked
that's
about
what she said too. She was like, he just wants it for clout. And I was like, okay, I get that you're very famous, but as you can tell by the follower count lost, he's also very beloved and famous from this show. Like, so I
He doesn't
understand that
need
you're
your
very famous.
clout.
He's
It's
exactly.
not some random dude.
He's just a kid. He's just a freaking kid. You know, he was just trying to be funny and like
Right.
show that Doja Cat and him were like talking about how hot Eddie is.
Well, he's
That
not
was
like
it.
it would be different if he was like some like like a YouTuber or influencer, but like he is on one of the most successful
Yeah.
shows of our generation. Like he doesn't need
Yeah.
your clout, Doja Cat. He's
Exactly. It was a mess.
yeah.
It was a whole
It
mess.
just
And
it doesn't seem like that big of a deal
you know,
to be upset about.
at the end of the day, I don't think she did any apologies or anything, but he commented on one of his TikToks because everyone was commenting, and he pinned his comment that I saw, and he goes, "You guys, it's not a big problem. I apologized, and there's no beef anymore." And I'm like, bro, I understand you apologize for like leaking the convo, but this is like Doja Cat's thing. Like her thing is being chronically online. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like her thing is talking about how hot she thinks other celebs are.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
don't know why she was like thinking that that was going to be a good move for her, but it was not. It backfired quickly on her.
I think that this is what happens when people like Doja Cat get like Doja Cat's huge, right?
Yeah.
And Doja Cat has a fanatic following, right? Of people who are like, I will
Yeah.
leave my husband for Doja Cat. And so when that
Yes.
happens, you start to believe that every fan that you have would leave their husband for you. And that's just not true.
A lot of people are just casual
I would
fans.
leave my life behind, except for obviously my sweet child, to be
Of
with
course.
Doja Cat. But a lot of people wouldn't. And that's fine.
Yeah. And that was proven when 200,000 people unfollowed her, which was just crazy. That's just a crazy number of people.
That's a lot.
And it
That's
dropped like that.
oh
Nuts.
god. I don't know. I think I have such a
Her
hard
freaking
time.
PR people are probably like, Doja, we could have gotten you that number. Like, all you
Yeah.
had to do was look him up on frickin' Instagram, and you couldn't even type in his name on Instagram. The whole thing was just weird. That's why
The
it
idea
seemed
that
like
he
she
doesn't
wanted it to be leaked.
okay, here's the thing, because she's Doja Cat and
Yeah.
she's tweeting about him and probably at
Yeah.
him or like hashtag or whatever. The idea that he doesn't already know,
Yeah.
like that one of someone from his team wasn't like, hey,
Yeah. This would be great for you.
yeah, Doja,
Dating Doja Cat.
yeah. Like the
Yeah.
fact that she thinks that he didn't already know if she was already publicly saying something
Yeah.
is
Just a mess.
it sounds like a mess and a half.
Anyway, so I didn't have any book talk drama, but I did want to give a little bit of drama because I'm nothing if not dramatic. And I love it. I love the drama.
I feel like I my relationship with book talk this week has been so like I don't know how I feel about book talk right now.
Yeah, I
People take
understand what you mean.
everything like very seriously.
Have you been getting comments?
I don't even think it was so. I posted something yesterday or the day before, and I ended up taking it down because people were like arguing in the comment section, and I was like, no, this was a joke, and it was literally
Oh
me
my
being like,
god.
what did I say? I was like,
I didn't
it,
see that.
it was like one of those like I was like saying hi to someone, shaking hands with them, and then they said that Michael Christ from the Corrupt series was their favorite
Oh,
guy.
I did see that. I saw that video, but I didn't see the comments.
Yeah, and so it was like a joke, and I've hated Michael Christ on my page for a very long time, but people were in the comments so upset and upset with each other. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I just feel like lately I've been seeing that a lot on Book Talk. Like people in the comments just like
Yeah.
feverishly being like mad about
I think
something.
as we both get more followers, and obviously I still have less than you, but like more people are going to find us, and more people that we don't necessarily want to be following us are going to find us. Like that's what happened with me with a bunch of men commenting on my stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steph said Devil's Night. Some Devil's Nights fans are too much for me. I never read it, but I have seen. She
Yeah,
agrees.
she's upset about it too. It wasn't even like I wasn't upset, but I just was like, this was a joke. You know what I mean? Like I was like, this was a joke. And I have talked to my
Yeah.
page so much. Okay. I've talked to my page so much about not judging people for the things that they read and the people that they like. And I'm like, so the fact that
Yeah.
there are so many people on my page like upset because Damon's worse. Damon is worse. I never said that he wasn't worse. It was just like it was so weird. And but I feel like I've been
People
seeing
will
that
protect.
she is the real star of the
Steph says
stream.
she's the real star of the stream.
She's
People
honestly
would
just looking at
protect
herself
their book characters so
to
hard.
the death. But
It's
I've been
like
seeing that a
this
lot.
isn't real. It's not real,
Yeah.
babe.
I've been seeing that a
You
lot
know?
on Book Talk where I see things and I'm like, are
Yeah.
we aware that this is all fiction?
No.
Like this obsession that we have because I talk about book boyfriends all the time on TikTok, but I think I do it with like
Yeah.
a joking kind of like levity. Like obviously I know that these men aren't real. And
Yeah.
I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people in people's comments that are like upset and like
Yeah.
aggressively like, you know, and I just was like and so I wasn't upset for like I don't care if people are like you're wrong, blah 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 to me, but it was the fact that people were like
Yeah.
coming
Everyone
at
can
each
have their own
other
opinion. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
like somebody literally was like, I said that, and I was like, well, Michael Chris isn't my favorite, and someone was like, one of the comments was like, or maybe people like him because they can relate to him. Shocker, huh? And I was like, what? I just said
Like,
I didn't like him.
relax.
Like, calm down. And and
Yeah.
for me, it was like I took it down. I took the video down. I made it private because people were arguing with each other, and I was like, the whole point of this series, the reason that there's 4 books is so that there's one, and they're all the main guy characters are so different for that reason, so that everybody can like
Yeah.
one. But it's like,
Yeah.
and people are like, well, you didn't like him because he didn't gargle. I'm like, I didn't like him because he was boring. You like people just, I feel like people just make so many assumptions, and so my relationship with book
Yeah.
talk this week, and I've been seeing that a lot, is just like kind of like, wow.
It's a little toxic.
Or people are like aggressively like, what's the name? What's the name of the book? I was on another girl's video, and she just forgotten to post the name of the book after she posted the video. And you put the name of the book in the comments to increase
Yeah.
engagement, right? To because if you scroll and the name's right there, then people can just keep scrolling. So you put the name in the comments to increase engagement, but she just hadn't done it, or she'd forgotten to do it. And one girl, like in her comment section, was like, I don't understand why it's so hard for these book talk influencers to put the names in the comments. This is ridiculous. I was like,
Yikes.
like it's,
Yikes.
someone responded to them and was like, hey, this is her profile, and if you don't like it, you gotta go somewhere
Just
else.
don't follow her. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
weird. She was so mad. I'm like,
It's now 5:01.
oh, sorry.
So we can keep talking about this in the next one,
Okay.
but I have to pee. And we'll be right back with
Okay.
the fantasy stream. So
Okay, guys, we'll
nobody
be right back.
leave. We'll be right back.
Okay, bye. Oh, I turned off my mouse. Say bye. Say mwah. Okay. Bye, guys. We'll be right back. I
Oh.
know. What a little precious angel devil child.
Did you take it off live?
No.